Good morning, welcome back. So happy that you joined us again today. My name is Norm, and today's topic and meditation is going to be based around self-awareness in the context of your mindset or mindsets. This might be the most important piece of information I will be passing on to you in the next 5 sessions. And it's one of those levels of self-awareness that there are many, 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 many layers, like an onion, to go deeper and deeper. The thing about your mindset is that it comes from a pretty deep, almost strange spot. And often it shows up as what you don't, from an area called you don't know what you don't know. And it's almost habit. Our mindsets are developed through history, our brainwashing, our parents' mindset, school, friends, social media, you name it. It also comes from your successes and your failures. So on all those topics, every time something happens, good, bad, or indifferent, we create a mindset about what reality is. And oftentimes, that mindset is inaccurate, if not totally wrong. It's based on some data. That's the power of developing a mindset that is based on something that happened, that you took that data, little piece of data, right, that moment, and you created this whole story about this must be true. So if you failed at something and you have a conversation in your head, I'm not good at that, that's your mindset. It happens really, really, really quickly, and it happens so you don't even know it's happening to yourself. You're brainwashing yourself at that point in time. The reality is, though, everything you've done today and everything you will do tomorrow, or everything you won't do today and you won't do tomorrow, comes from mindset. There are mindsets around everything. They're omnipresent. And being self-aware and mindful makes you stop and understand, well, why did I do this? Why am I going down this road? What's really going on there? You need to be able to question that. Again, mindsets are so powerful. They dictate your whole life. So it's really important to understand what your mindsets are. So if you've been broken up with somebody who was a particular name, right? Then I'm not good with Susan's, or whatever that is. If you've lost a job, if you've ever been terminated, you come up with a story about what that's all about, right? If you didn't have a great family life, you come up with stories about that. And these stories turn into mindsets. And they're so powerful. Like I said, they direct everything we do. Everything. And that's the scary thing, right? If you don't know what your mindset is from moment to moment, which isn't a lot of work, it's just like stopping for a second going, well, where did that come from? A good clue is when you say things to yourself like, I'm not good at, or I am this, or I can't do that. There's a mindset there. And a mindset is a position you take in the world. It's almost an attitude, not like a negative attitude, it's just the attitude you have about the world and you in it. And it's something to be really, really careful of and get in tune with, because you can change those mindsets almost immediately. But you'll notice once you start exploring mindsets, you have ones that are repeating behavior patterns. And they keep on showing up. That's not an accident, by the way. That's the mindset still there playing that game with you. And it's our brainwashing, for sure. Again, everything you do today and don't do today has been dictated by your mindset. Taken from all these little data pieces, right? And creating this story about yourself. So if you're here watching me right now, there was a mindset that brought you here. There's something there. What was it? And this is going to sound funny. If you're not here watching us now, first of all, where the heck are you? No. Why is that? What's the mindset behind that? So mindsets are not right or wrong. It's important to get that, right? Because we all have them and none of us are perfect at anything. But a mindset comes down to this. Does it work for you or does it get in the way of your growth and happiness? And I can break it down to those two main areas, right? It's just that. So not right or wrong. It's not a bad norm. It's not that. It is, does this work for me or does it not work for me? In fact, I had a conversation earlier today about being an independent person, right? And working for other people. And I came up with this statement, I don't like working for other people. And that's not necessarily true. I love working with people. I believe in organizations, but I've had some bad experiences, right? And I don't know if I want to go down that road again, but that is a mindset I've got. So does that mindset serve me or not? Probably not. It's important to get that. If you didn't get along with your dad, your mindset might be, my dad didn't love me, or whatever that is, right? But really, you think a dad doesn't love a child, you just might not get along. The question is, you can't place blame on everybody else for your mindset. You're in charge of it, and you can change it like that. Mindsets show up in some pretty key areas if you're starting to look at them. One will always be your actions or non-actions. So if you keep on saying, oh, I'm going to change my career, I'm going to change my career, and you're still doing the same thing and not taking steps to change your career, what's in the way? So there's non-action there. You're talking a lot about it, right? That's the only action. The more you talk about something, the less you get done because it's a real energy suck, right, if you will. It's important to get that those conversations are in the way. It's important to understand that they direct everything you do today. So what are your actions? So when you say we had a conversation yesterday about vision, right? And you had some, hopefully you came up with some ideas of what you want for your life and your vision. So the question is, and I gave you some homework to wake up today and just refresh those in your memory. And that was only for you to understand today is today, and either you're going to take action over it or not. So if you live your life not taking action over these things that you say you want, there's something going on there, right? There's just something going on there. And so lack of action is terrible because nothing happens then. If you're in action, at least you know you're trying or you've made a mistake, etc. But if you have some really powerful goals and a vision for your life, when you get up, you should have some idea of what you're doing today about them. It doesn't have to be a major step. It can be a small step. But a series of small steps get you there, and it keeps that present in your mind. Really important. Also, you're going to find as to define and be clear on what your mindset is. What are your internal conversations that you're having with yourself? We all have them. I don't care who you are. I actually say them out loud sometimes, which bothers people sometimes, but I have these internal conversations. And they're usually fear-based. And they're usually story-based. And most of the times they're not true. So what internal conversations do you have about your vision, your life? What conversations do you have? And you have them, and they're actually really loud, right? And they're just one step below consciousness to the subconscious level. This is where our programming actually lives, our brainwashing. So we can say out loud, I'm going to go do this and change the world, or whatever that is, right? But in that conversation, haven't changed the brainwashing, have you? The only way to change brainwashing is to get into action over something and either fail or succeed. Only way. Only way to get past that brainwashing. And be clear, it's brainwashing, but a lot of it's brainwashing yourself. So what are those conversations? What are those conversations about not doing something about it today? So if you want to change your career, for example, and you woke up today, and you didn't do anything about it, what's going on there? So we talk that big game, I want to change careers, but you've done nothing about it. So that's something to ponder. Something else that gets in the way, or is a big piece of achievement. And all this is a part of an achievement and change model I've developed, is what are your emotions around those ones? We don't give emotions too much credit for the power of achievement. So if you have this great vision or want, or say you want to change your career, become that doctor, but your emotions are one that doesn't support that, how do you change those? So if you're afraid of that, well, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with being afraid. So what happens is you have to understand that your emotions can stop you if you allow it. But if you really want to be that doctor, you go become that doctor and be afraid about it. Because fear is just a conversation. It means absolutely nothing. If it makes you sad because you're leaving this old person behind, that's very real. Be clear that your emotions have a lot to do with you moving forward or not. What are you really focusing on? I call it focused action if you're going in the right direction. So are you doing anything today about anything you want? You'd be shocked how much time we don't do that. We're on automatic and we're on survival mode sometimes. And sometimes you need to be on survival mode. I get it. But your mindsets are huge. You need to start changing those. You need to catch yourself having those conversations, finding those emotions, identifying if you're in action or not over your vision or your wants. And then simply, if you want to go ahead and really accomplish that, you change those things. Or you proceed with them being in place. Like, don't let fear stop you. Don't let sadness stop you. It doesn't change that you want these things. Really important to get your mindset. Very important. Again, whatever you've done today has come from a mindset. So they're omnipresent, right? It's not as if they're hiding out. They might be on a subconscious level, but it happens all the time. You're making decisions almost every second about your life. That's another piece of mindfulness you've got to understand. You're making those decisions as we speak right here. So what are they? That's the question you want to start asking yourself. What are my mindsets? So you can say you don't like somebody, right, for whatever reason, but where did that come from? And if you look at today's situation with Black Lives Matter, I mean, the problem with our mindsets, and they come from a worldview or history, it's understandable how people of different color or different sexes, genders, can't understand how the other people think. Well, of course, how do you understand that? Two separate mindsets from worldviews, experiences. So again, it's not right or wrong. Yours isn't right, and yours isn't wrong. It doesn't further who you are and who you want to be in the world. So we're going to take a few minutes to ponder what mindsets you have. And if you did the homework from yesterday, you saw yesterday's presentation, choose what mindsets you have on those 4 areas of your life: career, business, health and well-being, relationships, bucket list. You have a conversation, a mindset about all those. And so if you have a bucket list of traveling around the world, you have a million reasons to say, oh, I can't do that because of this, and this. So how do you expect to achieve anything with that mindset? If you have a mindset, I'm afraid to do that, well, again, you just you're stuck. If you talk yourself out of these great things, because I won't look good or I might fail, you're stuck. That's the power of mindsets. And the real change and achievement is actually the changing of your mindsets. Really, really important. So we're going to take a few moments here just to sit with silence. And you might be having a mindset about me right now, right? And again, it doesn't matter, and we all have that with other people, right? We develop this attitude about this person for some reason. They remind us of somebody we don't like or we do like. Either way, right? There's an assumption there in the mindset. But you're here. There's some reason you're here. What is that mindset? Really important to get. It dictates your whole life, and it'll dictate your future. Like right now. So what areas of your life are you working on? What mindsets are there? Time is a big one, money is a big one, all those silly little problems. If you really want to do something, there is nothing in the world that can stop you. You, because you're a human being, capable of amazing things. The history of the world has shown us that. Identify those mindsets. Maybe just identify one, right? What mindset you have about anything. And you can start dissecting that a little bit. And we're going to meditate on a mindset or whatever mindset you're working on. And then we're going to start, like we did yesterday, with 3 big breaths. We're going to hold each breath. I'll count from 3 to 1. And when I reach 1, you're going to release your breath, empty your lungs, and sink deeper and deeper into relaxation. So a big breath in, fill up, and hold for 3, 2, and 1. Another big inhale, fill up and hold for 3, 2, and 1. Last one, big breath, fill up and hold for 3, 2, and let go. Ponder yourself. About 1 more minute here. Gently start to wake yourself up. Maybe you open your eyes. Come back to that breath, right? And as you go along with your day today, be present to the mindset you're having at that moment, or do something and backtrack, re-engineer that and said, where does that come from? Truly important. It is the most beautiful thing you can do for yourself, is being self-aware. It's a little bit scary, but what you're going to find is this beautiful, amazing human being there, I promise you. Not perfect. You know, you can have the capability of being a jerk. We all do, but you're a human being. Your playing small does not serve the world. Self-awareness is key to your power and your success. You have a great day. Go change the world. We need you to change the world today. See you all tomorrow morning. Thank you so much.